All right, hey, welcome to lesson 12 of module 5 and video 1. And as you can see here, we have a rectangle. Now, we know we can find the area of rectangles with fraction side lengths by multiplying the side lengths. How can we find the area of this rectangle? And I wrote it in decimals and fractions, 3 and 8/10 and 3 and 8/10. So we can multiply length times width because we know that area is equal to length times width, right? Okay, so we could multiply 2 times 3 and 8/10. All right. We could do it by vertical form. We could do it by 2 times 38/10. Or we could use the break apart and distribute strategy. Okay, here we have the break apart and distribute strategy. And let's just look at it really quick. 2 times 3 and 8/10 is 2. And then the parentheses means times 3 and 8/10. So then we want to distribute the 2. We want to give it out to both of these. That's what distribute means, right? To give out. So 2 times 3 plus 2 times 8/10, essentially multiplying both of these by 2, right? Because we're multiplying both of them by 2. Okay, so 2 times 3 is 6, and 2 times 8/10 is 1 6/10, or 2 times 8/10, right, is 16/10, which would be 1 6/10, right? See how that works? And then put those together, and we have 7 6/10, or 7 6/10, right? Okay. So we see our partial products here. These would be our partial products. Why are they called partial products? Because they're not the complete product, right? They're the parts that we're putting together. Remember the word partial. Partial has the word part in it. So those are partial products. Okay, very good. Let's look at an area model. We've been talking about area. This is an area model using whole numbers. Sometimes good to check back at our whole numbers and remember our strategies that we worked on before. So this is 34 times 26, right? 34 times 26. And you can see that we broke it apart by place value. So we have 30 and 4 and 20 and 6. And then our partial products are right here in the middle, right? And I like to just really highlight this for you. You take these two and you multiply them together. And then you take these two and you multiply them together. And then these two, multiply them together. And these two, and multiply them together, right? So you just want to bring them together with your fingers like that. And then you have your partial products in the middle. Besides being partial products, these are also the area of these rectangles. That's why it's called the area model, right? So 30 times 6 is 180. Let's say it's 30 units times 6 units. That would be 180 units because length times width equals area, right? So 4 times 6 is 24. 30 times 20, 3 times 2 is 6, and then the 2 zeros. And 4 times 2 is 8, and 1 0. So what is 34 times 26? It is these all added together, right? So it would be 600 plus 180 plus 24 plus 80. And there's a lot of different ways you could do that, right? You could make a list and add them together. You could use some mental math and say 60 plus 180 is 780. 24 plus 80 is 104. Put those two together. 700 plus 100 is 800. 80 plus 4, 884. Did I do that right? Did I make any mistakes? I think it is correct, but if I made any mistakes, I'm sure you'll let me know. Okay, so can we do this problem with the area model? And what would be the benefits of it? Let's explore that today. All right, so here we have 2 times 3 4/5. 4/5 is the same as 8/10, right? 4/5 times 2 over 2 is 8/10, right? So we are really looking at that same problem, just with a simplified fraction. And that's because we're really looking at mixed numbers today in area models and just multiplying mixed numbers in general. So this is 2 times 3 4/5. Okay, and here I have it written in another way. Can we use either one of these? What's the difference? It's by place value, right? So we have our 3, and then we have our fraction. And this one, we just have 2. There's no fraction. If there was tens or, any other place value, we would have it broken up like how we broke up our place value for this one, right? Okay, good. Just kind of bringing you back to area models and how they work. It's really good to refresh our brains. Okay, so this is one way to solve 2 times 3 4/5. And we would do 2 times 3 and get 6. And then 2 times 4/5. 2 times 4/5. Remember, when you're multiplying by a whole number, you're just getting 2 of them. You're not changing the denominator. That can be something that you need to remember, right? So that would be 6 8/5. Sorry, 6 8/5. Now, 8/5, right? Eureka Math likes to call it a fraction larger than 1. I like to call it an improper fraction because the top is too large. So we have to solve that. Remember, think about how many times 5 fits into 8. 1 time with 3 left over, so that's 1 3/5 plus 6, so that's 7 3/5, right? And if it sounds familiar, it's because it's the same problem that we did here in the break apart strategy, because 7 6/10 is the same as 7 3/5, right? If we divide both of those by 2, it would be the simplest form. Yes? Okay, very good. And there it is in our break apart, the same that we did. You see it? Yes? Remember? Okay, very good. It's a good time to break and go to our next video. So thanks for watching. We will be jumping into number 1 in your book in the next video. So you might want to get your book and be ready. Make sure that you're taking notes. Thanks for watching. Aloha.